Can you believe it? It's time for the Disney List, where we take a look at some of the best, maybe not so great things across the Walt Disney Company this week, focusing on some of the ways in which you can make the most of a holiday trip to the Disneyland Resort and also keep your sanity. This is known as the busiest time of the year at the Disney parks. It is pandemonium status when you think about just how intense the crowds can be. If you've never been to a Disney park during the holiday season, you are in for kind of a rude awakening. While it's beautiful and really over the top in terms of theming, it can be very challenging to navigate if you are not prepared, which is why shows like ours exist. We're here with me this week, Tyler Crouch, Katrina Manzoni, to talk about it, share their tips on, number one, how to make the most of a holiday trip, and number two, how to keep that sanity during a time of year where it should be all about the magic, but boy, can it be difficult to absorb it when you are knee-deep in screaming kids. That's for sure.
The adults are annoying, too.
Hadn't finished. Yeah. And arm deep in aggressive adults.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who just want their churros. That's right.
That's right.
True.
Yeah, you won't like them when they're angry. That's for sure. Tyler, what do you got for us? Holiday trip tips, making the most. What do you do?
Well, I've got a few things that I love doing when I'm there during the holidays, and for me, the most exciting part of all of the holiday stuff combined is just spending time at the Festival of Holidays. That's it. For anybody that doesn't know, they have like little shows that they put on. There's bands that they have playing. They also just have all these different booths with different kind of traditional foods or new takes on traditional foods. And for me, it's always my favorite thing to do there. And I think the reason I put it on this list as well is because, like we were talking about, it's just so crowded at the parks all the time during these times that sometimes it's just not worth it to wait in these lines to do all the rides. Like you're just going to be spending all your time waiting in line, and it's just not going to be a very fun day. So I think for me, one of my favorite things to do is just go to the park, and we're lucky. I mean, I admit it, but go to the park, not really have any rides on my agenda, spend time doing the Festival of Holidays, because sometimes you find some really great food there that you just want to, if you try it, then the next time you come back, I'm like, I got to get that again. Unfortunately, it seems like they've really raised the prices this year on a lot of the food, which is pretty insane. I mean, that's kind of the norm with Disneyland right now, right? Is everything has been going crazy expensive, even like for Disney standards. But I don't know. It's still so fun to get. I mean, they used to have the Nashville hot turkey. Oh, I wish they brought that back. So it was fun. I had such a nice time getting my Nashville hot turkey, going over to the band area, watching what are they called? Fat Cat Swingers.
Oh.
Is that what they're called? Yeah, Fat Cat Swingers.
Fat Cat Swingers.
They're there like they're there like every year. Last year they had
they are a treat at Christmas.
Yeah.
I really enjoy stopping off for their concerts. They know how to get the magic moving.
Yeah,
as I like to say.
And they have like Mostly Kosher there every year.
They're right. Yeah.
I love Mostly Kosher. They're
Mariachi Divas.
Yeah, the Mariachi Divas. Yeah, they're all good people. And there's just something fun about just being like, well, we're just gonna go and we're gonna hang out and do what we do. My next thing is, again, they're so crowded at these parks. Just sometimes just going on the attractions is not my thing, and so I just like to be able to walk around the parks and just like take in all the decorations. For me, just kind of getting in the Christmas spirit means, walking around, seeing what they've done with the place, and just like taking in that kind of those magical moments where, especially at night, like we were walking down Main Street last night, and I think it was the first time for me that I've really felt like, oh yeah, Christmas is coming, because Main Street really is beautiful at night. With all the lights and the garland overhanging the buildings, and they've got all the Christmas lights on the castle, and it really is a beautiful thing.
The smell of gingerbread in the air.
Yes, yeah.
Nice.
A loved one on your arm.
Yes.
And Katrina.
True. Yeah.
You're right.
But my last one here, and I know I just said, I'm not going to spend much time on the attractions, but I feel like it's something we have to do every year. And it's kind of a no-brainer, but you got to get on Haunted Mansion Holiday at least once.
You gotta.
Because you got to see that gingerbread house.
You gotta smell it.
For anybody that doesn't know, the gingerbread house, they change it every year. That's like one thing you can count on being different every single year. And I just feel like the technical teams and the bakery teams, I just feel like they want to one-up themselves like every single year, because now they're like fully animated.
It's like a Frankenstein cookie
right
now.
It's like a Frankenstein cookie, gingerbread man, and it's, I don't know, it's just so much fun. It's another thing that brings me in the holiday spirit. And Jack may have screwed up Christmas. Let's all face it. We love Jack, but you done screwed it up, Jack. But I still love the guy. You know, and I have to go and see him in his little Sandy Claus suit, giving out horrible toys to the horrible children.
At least with this one, there's a virtual queue. So at least you don't have to wait in line. You just have to wake up at 7 a.m. and make sure Disneyland is your first park you're going to, and try to see if you can hit the lottery and get in. So at least at that point, you kind of just have to wait until your number is called. So that's nice.
Yeah, great tip. Something people don't think about. You're absolutely right. And can't forget that cocoa, as Quentin says here in chat. Gotta have that cocoa. Judith also saying in chat, love the decorations and the overall warm and cozy atmosphere that screams Christmas. It's screaming it. Ho, ho, ho.
That's what he said last night.
Oh.
As we were walking through, he was just screaming. He's like, ho, ho, ho.
Oh, my gosh.
I
Christmas.
couldn't help myself. I saw some terrible looking people. I started yelling at them.
Wow. Tyler. And earlier, giving us the tips of, settle down on proposing in front of that castle. This guy's on a roll.
Listen, that was a funny joke.
It's
I'm smiling myself. You don't have to like it at home, but I liked it.
He's on a roll, let me tell you. Well, Katrina, this time of year, it is your time. We know this. Every year, I look forward to the heralding in of the season, because we know that you yourself become almost angelic in nature. It's because you absorb the magic of it all, and your wings grow, your halo expands. All of that seems to happen. But making the most of the season, keeping your sanity, how do you do it?
Oh, my gosh.
Oh.
Here we go.
Oh, my gosh.
Let them come up. So I've said it before. I've said it again. Viva Navidad.
Viva Navidad.
Literally the best thing in the whole world. It'll get you in the Christmas spirit. It is so fun. I mean, if they were able to sell like VIP sitting for Viva Navidad, I think we'd probably do it multiple times a day, just to watch it.
Depends on how you would get the VIP seating.
That's true. But if they did, that'd be the best. Anyway, so Viva Navidad is super great. It's over in DCA. So then, you can kind of combine what Tyler's doing with like the Festival of Holidays. You can go eat some food, and then the show starts happening. So you just like walk over and like listen to the music and have fun and dance and sing. And then, then continue on your merry way and watch another show. Honestly, like DCA, all of DCA during the holidays is just ever flowing. Like there's just always something going on there. So no matter what you do, it's not going to be like a dull moment, right? Mm-hmm. There's like fun music happening everywhere you go, like almost every minute. And then you have all of the holiday booths going on, so you can always eat your your foods and stuff. Then you can kind of maybe go on a ride or whatever, if there is if you want to wait in the line for that long. But just like seeing the decorations and everything, there's always there's never going to be a dull moment in DCA, right? And then they're going to have like more shows happening too, with like Encanto and then the Coco show at night. So it's just like, it's always just going to be there's just something happening all the time. So I would say that's the best. If you have like one park to kind of go see.
Intensity of entertainment.
Oh my gosh. It's it's just on fire, that park. And then Disneyland's like kind of classic, right? You got the parade, you got the fireworks, and that's kind of it. Yeah. And then just a lot of rides. But then I would say let's face it, Disneyland tickets are very, very expensive for 1 day, 2 day, annual pass, all of that stuff.
Right.
And sometimes people just want to get out of their house and just go do something with your kids. And maybe they can't afford go into Disneyland and stuff, but they still want to bring the Disney magic, right? Mm-hmm. Go to Downtown Disney.
There you go.
Downtown Disney is going to be having a lot of stuff going on. So they're going to be having like the snowfall throughout the night at Disneyland, at Downtown Disney. And then they have that new concert area. So they're going to have like Christmas concerts and stuff throughout the night. And that's always just like, you grab a bite to eat at a restaurant, watch the little snowfall, grab an ice cream, and then go watch the concert. So that's always fun. And then my other one would be my other one that I always talk about every year. Let's face it.
Every year.
Every year. The lights on Small Worlds. The facade.
Oh,
Christmas.
look out.
Holidays. That's the best. I love it so much.
Something, Magic Kingdom just doesn't have.
Oh, no, they don't.
No, they
it's
do
just
not.
so sad. It's just so, blech. You don't want to do Small World over there. It's just that facade. Because, like I tell you all the time, like if you take the monorail from downtown Disney to Disneyland, I know the monorail is going to be like super busy during the holidays, but when you turn that dark bend and then all of a sudden that facade is just like glimmering in the night, you're just like, oh, Christmas. Oh my God, this is so pretty. And then if it rains and then the ground is all wet and then you have like the double reflection happening.
So reflective.
The best.
The double reflection.
The double reflection, whatever. The reflection everywhere you go, the lights are shimmering. No matter where you go, it's like a nice big warm hug. I love that facade so much. And if they ever get rid of it, I'm gonna die.
We don't want that.
I think there would be riots if they tried to take away Small World Holiday.
Ooh, it's just so fun. And then honestly, if you just see it, if you're having a bad day, let's just say you're really stressed, you're having a moment, you just want to pull your hair out because you're so busy, just go to Small World and just look at the facade at night. And then just take a deep breath. And then you'll hear some Christmas music playing and stuff, and then you'll be like, this is nice.
And think of all the terrible places in the world you could have been standing at
That's
that
right.
point, but you're not.
You're not.
You're standing right there in the heart and warmth of Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, there's nothing like it.
I love it so much.
I always like to, kind of to your point, as you were saying, a lot of times folks just need to get out of the house when the Christmas season rolls around.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, families are cooped up together for weeks, right? A lot of kids are out of school.
Indeed.
You got family coming into town, maybe. Everybody's piled into the same house, and it can be a bit much. And so you want to get out of the house. So one of the tips I like to share with people, too, is keep that in mind directly following Christmas. If you would like to go and experience these parks prior to Christmas, you should, because it's the days following Christmas, directly following, that is the worst. 26th through the 4th about of January, that right there, those are the days where Disneyland goes into all of their limited accessibility moments where suddenly they'll start guarding access into the parks, and they'll start being much more stringent about who can go where and when, and it's just not even fun. At that point, it just becomes too much. And Disney tries to, they don't want to tell people no because they came, right? And that's part of a lot of people's Christmas vacation, and it's a big part of their experience. They want to do it. But you got to remember, too, you get in there, and it's wall to wall, and the lines are an hour and a half to 2 hours a piece. What fun is that? So I always tell people, if you want to go during Christmas time, go for it. Just do it before Christmas Day.
Well, now they have the Premier Lane, so now you can spend like $800 per person because they're going to jack up those rates during that period. So then you can get Lightning Lane for every ride and then be mad because you see your credit card bill and you're like, woo!
Whip out that cash, you'll be good. Yeah, they can sail right through to the front of the line. But I always like to share that because that time of the year, especially as somebody who worked as part of Disneyland's organizational management for a number of my own professional years as a career, I can tell you those days between Christmas and just after New Year's are so difficult. And it's not just difficult for you as a visitor, it is difficult for the people that work there because they are under so much pressure to keep things moving, get things done, right? Deliver, and that can be a very difficult thing to do when the pressure of an avalanche of humanity is on top of you. Right?
That's a good way to say it.
Best way I can put it.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite ways to kind of remain sane too while I'm there, especially when I'm going back to like the Festival of the Holiday stuff, is Most of the time they do this, but a lot of people don't know that you can buy any of the food you want at any booth from any other booth. So I like to.
Oh, that's a great point.
Yeah, I like to, because like otherwise you're going to be waiting in multiple lines just to order food, when you should really just get, like, they have those books that have the menus for everything. Just see what you like, just mark it all down, and then go to one booth and buy all your food, and then you get to basically skip the line, never have to wait in line again.
Just don't lose your receipt.
Yeah, keep your receipt for sure, but I think that's
a smart thing.
That's probably my way, that I'm like, okay, let me make sure I'm not just wasting time getting in all these lines back to back to back.
Yeah, because that's stressful
Yeah.
when you see it like on a busy day,
Yeah.
and then you see like the line to order and then the line to grab the food.
And you're hungry anyway.
And you're already hangry, so you're like, I'm gonna, and then you just turn into the Hulk and then just.
Wow.
It's
Hulk
kind of
smash.
Stressful.
And like going with what you just said too, is like they do have the pickup lines, and sometimes the pickup lines can be like way longer than the actual like buying
Yeah.
the food lines. So just remember too that you can walk away. You can like buy your food and hold on to that receipt
Come back another time.
and be like, oh, that line is crazy right now, but we can go to this other booth. We'll eat there, and then we'll see how the line is later. And we've done that tons of times, where sometimes for whatever reason they're struggling on getting the food out fast enough, or they don't have it in stock or something. And then we'll come back like 20, 30 minutes later and the line is completely gone. So,
Yeah. You just have to make sure you use it that day.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's smart to do it, and also we'll separate the orders. So instead of having one receipt with everything, we'll do like 2 different purchases. So then I go do something and he goes and does something, and we meet in the middle.
Oh, very
And then
smart.
I'll have food and he has food, and
Great
then we
idea.
go do it that way. Work efficiently.
Work efficiently.
Do it
That's
that
right.
way. You know what I mean? But I will say, because it is a busy season, pack your patience.
Oh, yes.
Like, I know everybody thinks that going at Christmas is going to be so beautiful and so fun, and you want to have the most magical time in the whole world because it's Christmas and it's the holidays and you're with your family, but your expectations are like going to be up here, and you got to set them to like a little bit lower than that, because nothing's perfect. Things are going to go wrong. Rides are going to shut down.
Parking's going to sell out.
Parking's going to sell out. I mean, then the weather, you never know. And then we have Santa Ana winds, and they're very, very, very gusty. And so that day, you may not get fireworks because of a gust. You can't get mad at cast members for that. It's out of their control. And also, it is a busy day. And I know, like, you're spending a lot of money. You're stressed because of kids, family members, whatever. You're hungry. Everything's overpriced. It's just set yourself up for things to go wrong. And then just take a breath, reset yourself, and then continue with your day. Because, I mean, you always just have to have a plan B if things go wrong.
Set it up right. Pack your patience. Wonderful tips to share this time of year if you are heading out to the Disney parks for a little merriment and joy. That's for sure. Let us know how you keep your cool, you keep your sanity when it comes to visiting the Disneyland Resort this time of the year. We'd love to hear from you.